What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and Billy Joe Howell, Quinton Simon's grandmother, is still behind bars at the time of this recording. In fact, she is being held without a bond, but it does not look like she is going to be in there for long. Now, of course, we do not officially, keyword, we do not officially know why she is being held right now. We know that it has something to do with the juvenile court. I know that she's had supposed family members online on various live streams talking about this case. I also know that Danny, the boyfriend, one of his family members has been online talking about this situation as well. And one thing I do know for a fact, because the information from this case is not public, because it's a juvenile case, just like they can't give you information about this case, Billy Joe is not supposed to be online yapping it up and talking about some of the stuff that is going on with the cases that she has. She's not supposed to be online talking about the Quinton Simon investigation. And she's not supposed to be online talking about the custody battle that's going on with Leilani's other two kids. So every time she calls into a live stream and she talks about those cases, she's breaking the law, which could be one of the reasons why she's being held for contempt of court, because there's an order here for at least one of these situations where she's not supposed to be talking. But the news just broke yesterday night, amongst a lot of other news, that Billy Joe is going to be held for 10 days. 10 days. That's it. Now, when I first broke this news that Billy Joe was arrested, everyone automatically assumed that it had something to do tied in with the Quinton Simon case. I understand why people assumed that. I assumed that as well, but I did not report that. But I think it's safe to say that's where a lot of our minds initially went. But then we heard that it had nothing to do with Quinton. That it had something to do with the other kids. But now knowing that all she's going to do is serve a simple 10 days. 10 days. In fact, she'll be out just in time for Christmas on, I believe, let me check. I think she's going to be getting out on December 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is December 22nd. Yep. So, I know a lot of us, or more specifically, a lot of you all, had high hopes that she was going to be held accountable for what happened here with Quinton. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. But we see that the Chatham County Police Department and the juvenile, division or the center or whatever you want to call it, they're not just sitting down allowing these things to happen. They're taking action. And I said it before in a previous video, and I didn't really get to talk about it much. I am really pleased with the work from law enforcement on this case. I've been covering true crime for maybe a year and a half now. I don't just cover true crime. We talk about all types of things on this channel. But, I cover certain cases. And in every single case that I've covered, I've been disappointed by the work of law enforcement. I was disappointed in how law enforcement never found Brian Laundrie's remains. Yet his remains were right there. I was disappointed, for example, about how law enforcement didn't find Kylie Rodney's car, but her car was right there. There's so many different, cases I could bring up and point out how law enforcement dropped the ball. But in this case, they had everything together, even though it seemed like they didn't for a little while. And then, in all honesty, the people who showed up outside the house protesting and causing a scene, they made things more dramatic than they needed to be. Because, I mean, it took about a month, but really, honestly, in a timely manner, they got all of this stuff handled. They went out there to a landfill and dug through millions of pounds of trash to find the remains of a toddler. And they got Leilani behind bars. It didn't happen overnight, but it didn't stretch out for 6 months. It didn't stretch out for 2 years, a year. In a tight little time span, I feel like they wrapped up this case nicely. And I know the investigation is still ongoing, and I believe they have plenty of information to pin Leilani. And to see that the juvenile court took action and arrested Billy Joe, even if it was for 10 days, it goes to show that they're just not letting things just go. You know what I mean? And even though I like to be careful, because I know there's stuff floating around online that may be factual and some of it may be rumors. So I would like to wait for official confirmation. But in my opinion, a lot of what's going on with Billy Joe is because Billy Joe's been saying too much and she's not supposed to be talking about this stuff. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.